to talk about Newton's first law of motion, the law of inertia. So what is inertia? Inertia, in the most simplest form, is an object's tendency to keep doing whatever it is it's doing. So if an object is at rest, like these objects are here, their inertia would allow them to continue to be at rest. Once they're moving, their inertia would have them continue moving. Newton's first law is an object at rest is going to continue to be at rest until acted upon by an unbalanced force, and an object in motion will stay in motion until acted on by an unbalanced force. So since these are not being acted on by anything but gravity, they are sitting still, and they will remain sitting still until another force acts upon them, okay? So inertia is affected by other qualities in an object, such as their mass. So I'm going to apply a force to each of these objects, and we're going to see what happens to their inertia. Now remember, that means this object wants to stay sitting still. So its inertia is going to try to keep it sitting still. All right? We don't see much motion. So we see a lot more motion from the marble. If inertia is an object's tendency to keep doing what it's doing and resist its change in motion, which one of these two objects resisted the change in motion more? Meaning, which one of these didn't want to move? Well, the tennis ball. So why didn't the tennis ball want to move? Because it has more mass. Because objects with more mass are going to have more inertia.
Here's inertia in action. Notice how when the bus comes in contact with the wall, it stops moving. But the dinosaur continues to move forward. Here you can see it sliding off the bus until it comes in contact with the wall. We're going to take a look at one more example. Here you can see that I'm attaching the dinosaur to the school bus with a rubber band. I'm going to set it up and I'm going to push it against the wall. And what do we notice about the dinosaur this time? He stays put. So what happened with the bus and the dinosaur? It's all a matter of inertia. Let's break down the scenario that we looked at. The wall is represented right here by this brick as an unbalanced force. It is only exerting a force towards the bus. Now the bus is moving forward and so is the dinosaur. They are working as one system. They are moving forward together towards the wall. But if you notice, the bus came to a stop when it hit the wall, but the dinosaur didn't. So why didn't the dinosaur stop? The bus stopped. It was riding on the bus. They were both moving forward, and the bus stopped. The dinosaur kept going forward. So this is where inertia comes in. Remember that an object has a tendency to keep doing whatever it is that it's doing. So the bus wants to keep moving forward because that's what it was doing. And the dinosaur, it was riding on the bus, but it also wants to keep moving forward because that was what it was doing. So when the bus hits the wall, the bus stops because it hits an unbalanced force. However, the dinosaur doesn't hit an unbalanced force. There's no unbalanced force that's stopping it. It is free to use its inertia to keep moving forward because that's what it was already doing, was moving forward. So remember, an object in motion is going to stay in motion until acted on by an unbalanced force. So the bus was acted on by an unbalanced force, which stopped its motion. But the dinosaur had no unbalanced force acting on it. So it doesn't stop. It's going to keep moving forward. Part 2 of that is when we wrap the rubber band around the dinosaur. What did we notice when the bus and the dinosaur hit the wall? Well, they both came to a stop. That doesn't mean that there's no inertia here. The dinosaur still wanted to keep moving forward, but this time it did have an unbalanced force acting on it. And that unbalanced force is the pressure that was being applied by the rubber band. What does that rubber band remind you of? If you've ever ridden in a car or maybe a roller coaster, someone stopped real hard, the roller coaster comes to a stop at the end and you move forward. Well, it's almost like a seatbelt. That rubber band is representing what happens in a car when we stop and why seatbelts are important. Without the rubber band, we know that the dinosaur is going to keep moving forward. But when it's strapped down to the bus, it stays put. Right? So the rubber band is acting as the unbalanced force for the dinosaur, whereas the wall acted as the unbalanced force for the bus. See? Inertia. Physics, it's everywhere, even when you're riding in your car.